That was one of the most painful offensive showings I have ever seen in a game in my life. Bears lose 19-11 to the Indianapolis Colts at home in Nick Foles' first career start for the Bears. Now, you want to know the thing about this game? The team was coming to this game 3-0. All right. And you have two amazing comeback victories in there, and you hang on to win another one. And then you're playing a team who's 2-1. It's your first real opponent because after week 3, the teams that you had played, the Lions, the Giants, and the Falcons, were combined 1-8. But I had some hope because I wasn't feeling very optimistic about this game going into it, and I remembered, oh yeah, this team's 2-1, but who have they played? On week 1 they went to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars, who had been openly said as the open tank team of the year, tanking for the first overall pick. They're going to be garbage. And the Colts lose that game 27-20. Then they play the Vikings, and they stomp them at home, which is just great. Made Kirk Cousins look like a fool. I loved it. It was great. They play the Jets at home, and they absolutely toss Sam Darnold around. He throws 2 pick sixes. They just completely destroyed him. And they said that, oh, this defense is fantastic. They're doing amazing through the first 3 games. And I'm just sitting there like, this team has played 3 games as well. And then the teams that they've played are also 1-8. And yet the only one win from those teams is against you. Okay. There's some, okay, maybe, just maybe we might be able to win this game. I thought wrong. I was very stupid in that assumption. So the game got moved to the afternoon time slot because Cam Newton decided to get COVID-19 and move the Chiefs Patriots game to Monday night, which, by the way, that game was an absolute turnstile. Brian Hoyer looked like garbage so bad that they had to put in Jarrett Stidham. So let's go ahead and just Nick Foles' first start. He coming off this amazing fourth quarter comeback against the Falcons. Oh, he's our savior. The Mitchell Trubisky era is over. We're going to move past him, and we're going to be a great team with Nick Foles. He's going to be firing the ball downfield. We'll be able to actually get some offensive production. In that game, we saw yet again, Nick Foles cannot play football for a team not named the Philadelphia Eagles. And in this game, he proved exactly that. In the last game, he proved that he basically come in on a relief effort and win the game, whatever the circumstances are now. But when he's at a starting job, man, this dude is not going to win it. He ain't going to do anything. The offense looks garbage. We couldn't get anything. I don't know where to even start with how that offense performed. That putrid offensive performance on Sunday. It was absolute garbage. Matt Nagy. What were some of those play calls there? I get that you're starting and trying to use a different new quarterback, and I guess it's your first game. Yeah, you're going to screw up on a couple play calls, but come on, dude. The offense couldn't perform. They couldn't perform. They couldn't do anything. They put 3 points up in the second quarter and couldn't score for the rest of the game. Until garbage time. The game was awful. Awful. The team could not get anything done offensively until the very last drive of the game in garbage time, where he was basically just chucking balls to Allen Robinson and he just threw up a touchdown at Allen Robinson. Like, cool, hey, good for my fantasy team because I got Robinson and he basically salvaged a bunch of 20 points. But come on. What were some of these play calls? Also, Anthony Miller, you're so up and down. You've made 2 amazing touchdown catches. You made a couple great catches in that game against the Lions and the Falcons. But in your games against the Giants and the Colts were garbage. Your road games, you've been great. The games at home, you have been terrible. Dropping balls, dropping super important balls too. Not just you're just dropping the ball. You're dropping important balls too. In that Giants game, you dropped a touchdown and you dropped a 3rd down conversion. Sunday, had a ball that you just went right through your hands into the defenders. And that was right when we were having a shot, actually maybe scoring some points. Oh my goodness. Points on the board? What are those? I don't know what that is. I thought we had to just have our defense. I thought our defense was going to do everything for us. I mean, I don't know. And it's not like the Colts like outplayed us. They were also terrible. Their offense was also garbage. Aside from the first drive when they scored a touchdown, they were terrible on the offensive side. We held them to 4 field goals. 4 field goals. They got 4 possessions where they were get to get down far enough. And the Bears defense does this all the time, where they look terrible, but once the other team gets in the red zone, they just completely shut the door and then make them kick a field goal. And you know, it's like, okay, you hold them to a field goal, but at some point, don't you realize, like, hey, 12 points is 12 points. That's 2 touchdowns with missed extra points. Do you not realize, like, I mean, yeah, you're able to stop and not letting them score touchdowns, but that's still quite a bit of points, especially since you've put up 3 in the entire game. Nice job there, boys. Nice job. And you had, yeah, that was an awful offensive performance. The Colts offense looked not really good. They didn't really look good either. Both, it was a defensive showcase, and in the sense, you could have a good defensive showcase. This was not one of those defensive showcases that was actually exciting to watch. It was mainly the offensive players just screwing it up and dropping balls. The defense made a couple good plays here and there. There were, a couple of the passes that were on target were knocked away. That was good defensive play. But there were plenty of dropped balls by both teams. I cannot stand this offensive ineptitude any longer. This team just proved to me that they should be 1-3, if not 0-4, because the way that they played in that game does not warrant 3 wins. Does not at all. It was awful. I mean, if they play like that, if they don't pull, if realistically looking at this, if we don't have 4 good quarters of football in our first 4 games, we're 0-4. We don't have a good fourth quarter against Detroit, lose that game. We don't have a good first half against the Giants, lose that game. Or if the Giants had more time, we lose that game as well. If Nick Foles didn't come in and save our asses, I'm sorry, we lose that game against the Falcons. We would be 0-4 right now. But we're 3-1. Yes, I'm going to take it. It's amazing. I mean, we're still in a playoff spot. That's okay. I mean, go to the playoffs. Playoffs? Why am I thinking about playoffs with how this team showed up? They're not even going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to lose 8 straight. They're probably going to be like Jacksonville and start in 2018 Jacksonville. Off the AFC Championship and everything. They start 3-1, and then they lose like 7 straight and go to 3-8, and then finish the season like 6-10, 5-11. I swear, I have this bad feeling that it's going to be like that. It's being a Bears fan in this last decade has these automatic pessimistic ideas and pessimistic outlooks on the season. We've put up 25. We put up 27. We've put up 27 points and 30 points in our 2 road games. In our 2 home games, we have 17 and 11 points. You know who our next opponent is? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay on Sunday won 38-31 over the Chargers after being down 24-7. That's a team that can be down and rally and basically can score points. They put 38 points on the Chargers. Yeah, their defense wasn't really, their passing defense let up a couple big touchdowns, but they still won the game. It doesn't matter how you do it, you win the game. Yeah, that's how you do it. It doesn't matter how you win the game, you won. You can look at a win and see it as a loss. That win was a team effort to come back from behind with over a half left and win convincingly. And that was Tom Brady's best game as a Buccaneer. My only hope is that, those 5 touchdowns that he threw blew out his arm or something. And so he's going to come out in Soldier Field and have a terrible arm day or something. At this point, it's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady. We're playing Tom Brady, an offense that scored 3 points against the Colts. Truly 3 points until garbage time, until basically the game was over. And we got Tom Brady next on prime time. Yeah, it wasn't intended to be this, but apparently, since the circumstances worked out, it's perfect. It's a Super Bowl 52 rematch. It's got a big headline now. Super Bowl 52 rematch. First time Foles goes against Brady since the Super Bowl. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout because Tampa Bay's run defense is just as good, if not better, than Indianapolis's run defense. Their pass defense, not the best. But guess what? This is the Bears we're talking about. This team has always been a running team, has always been known for their running backs or their defensive players. They've never been known for their quarterbacks or their wide receivers. Mitch Trubisky was the first Pro Bowl quarterback since Jim McMahon, and he only got into the Pro Bowl because Jared Goff got into the Super Bowl. It does not stop. It is a nightmare. I cannot deal with this. Yes, it's only one loss. Any team's going to lose games. You're not perfect. You're not going to win them all. We all know this. Every team's going to lose games. But this was just... It makes no sense. Can this team be consistent? I can't. I can't, with how they performed on Sunday, I cannot look at that game and say, oh yeah, they're going to win that game. A team that put 11 points up, 3 points up realistically, until if you take away that touchdown drive, that's 3 points on the board, and you're going up a team who just put 38. And that is an offensive powerhouse, too. Like, that game is going to be basically, when the Tampa Bay offense is on the field, that's going to be when the game is at its best, because a really good defense against a really good offense. When the Tampa Bay defense is out there, they're going to be stomping all over that run game. They're going to have to force Nick Foles to somehow throw an accurate deep ball, because he sure as hell could not do that on Sunday. Sure as hell, basically every deep ball he threw was either way overthrown or slightly off target, or the receiver just dropped the ball. We can't throw the deep. We cannot stretch the field. We cannot do it. It just can't happen. It doesn't happen because that's not how this team works. It is slow pounding, and it is monotonous to watch because sometimes you have a good drive going and you're rolling along, but then a third down comes up and it's like 3rd and 2, and then you decide to run it up the middle because the running game's been solid, and then all of a sudden it stopped and you have to punt because, you didn't get far enough, because even though you took a lot of time off the clock, you didn't get far enough, because you couldn't stretch the field. It is so annoying. I'm so done. And this is kind of what I knew, that we were incredibly lucky to be 3-0. I knew that. I knew that from the start when I saw that 3-0 record. Yes, and I'm going to bring it up again. Green Bay is able to fire off. They are able to score points. They are able to stretch the field, and they're able to score points. What can the Bears do? Not score points. Do you see why we're all so frustrated? At this point, I don't even know what to say. I've been rambling for about almost a half hour now, just rambling. I don't know what else to say, other than I'm very pissed about how that offensive performance. I just want a team that looks like they can put on a complete game and beat a decent team. I don't know what else to say. I think that's it. I think I got all my anger and all of my rage out for the week. I might have more after, depending on how the result of the game against Tampa goes. I might have more rage to let out on the cameras. So if you like this video, subscribe and hit the like button, because hey, you might see me in the same exact state after the game on Thursday. You might see me in the exact same state. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more rage from me, because it's going to happen, because this is how this season's working. It is rage, and every now and then you're excited. And that's it. That's it. See ya.